In today's video, we're going to cover installing the Tailhappy's Garage 18 gauge steel neutral pull cover. So the neutral pull cover is an anti-theft device. So what it does is it prevents thieves from popping into your vehicle, breaking the window, lifting off that little coin tray, and pulling up that orange nylon strap, which puts your car in neutral, and then they can go ahead and bump you and drive the car away. So here we've got a nice side-by-side view. We've got the unprotected neutral pull on the left and the neutral pull cover installed on the right. The first part of the install shows you how easy it is to access that neutral pull just by pulling out the coin tray. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to reach in around the cup holders. You don't need any tools, just reach in with your fingers and pop up the first set of clips. So the next step is to put the car into gear, shut it off, set the e-brake, and then you can actually now pull the rest of the bezel forward. There's two clips on the top above the control panel. You're just going to have to wiggle it and give it a good pull forward. So once you've got that panel fully released, now you can reach your fingers underneath and start removing the black bezel around the shifter. So just by simply feeling around and popping up all the little orange clips underneath, you will be able to release that again without shoving any tools in there and creating any marks on your plastics. Once you've got it released, you're going to want to lift up the front of it so you can access that little screw underneath the shifter. It's a T25 bit. I'll give you a picture of that right now, nice and close up. And after you spend approximately 25-26 minutes searching for your T25 bit because you dropped your entire 250 bit screw set on the floor just after you opened it, you can head underneath the shifter and just gently unscrew that T25 bit that you searched for forever. I would definitely recommend a long driver for this because it's a little bit easier, and you do have to keep going for a while. You want to make sure you don't drop it in that center console, but get it out far enough that the shifter just slides directly up. So there's no force, you just give it a little tug and the shifter just simply pops right out. Don't forget, underneath there's a little plug. You're going to have to get a sharp object into that tiny little divot right on the top to release the plug. And your last and final step to clearing the way to installing this is to reach behind the control panel there and simply unplug. You just want to squeeze that connector on the bottom and then pop it out. Now here's a nice clear view of the neutral pull. It's a simple nylon strap, you give it a yank and your car's in neutral. Here's a nice view of the underside of that shifter bezel. First of all, there's that T25 screw right there. Check out those little orange clips there. That's what you're pushing up on to release the bezel. Now to remove the bolts holding down the neutral pull, you're just going to have to grab a 8mm socket and go to town. One thing I noticed about the neutral pull cover, that 18 gauge steel doesn't even flex. It fully surrounds the neutral pull with nowhere to get underneath it. It's a pretty solid device. You take a look at the top there, there's the cutout for the cable. You line that up with the cable, line up the screw holes, make sure the nylon strap is centered there. Now when checking this product out on the forums, I had noticed people were complaining about using the 8mm bolts that came out to put this product in. Even though those 8mm bolts are completely covered and you have to take the console out to access them, if you're worried about using those 8mm bolts, there is a $2 security screw, washer, and security bit set that you can purchase to install this product for added peace of mind. So to install, you want to make sure the strap is either centered or off to the passenger side. Pop the cover on, making sure the cable goes out the cable slot and the two screw holes are aligned. And either grab the factory screws, or you can grab your new set of security bits and snug this down. Don't forget to put the washer on as well. And because I got my greasy fingerprints all over it from the lube on the shifter, I of course wipe that down and clean up in there so I could take some nice pictures. And lastly, since we opted for the security bolts, I grabbed my friend's original factory bolts and popped them in a bag for her, along with the security bit so she can store that somewhere safely. And here we have a quick video of what it looks like installed with those security screws. And as you can see, everything around it is completely covered up. Putting everything back together is so much easier. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to plug in the control panel. Then once you have the control panel plugged in, you're going to put the top clips in first above the control panel, then push forward, and then make sure that the cable for the shifter is available. What's cool about the reinstall is you have access to the underside of the shifter boot, so you can pop these 4 plugs out and remove the shifter boot completely. Now you can reassemble this entire thing without having to put the car in drive. Alright, let's start by popping those top clips in nice and tight. Now work your way down to the back, snapping everything in. Now we'll do a little bit of cleanup from that shifter lube, because shifter lube gets on everything. Next thing you do is pop on the shifter bezel. Push every clip down, make sure they snap into place. Again, keep an eye on the shifter loop situation. Now we pop that shifter on, making sure that the plug is facing forward. And with the shifter boot off, it's so much easier to screw in that T25 underneath. Just want to line up the hole, and when the screw goes in nice and smooth, you can drive it all the way down and snug it. Don't forget to plug in the shifter plug there that lights up the shifter lights, and snap that into place. It's in 4 locations there. And that's it. You are done. Well, with the exception of the coin tray, but I'm pretty sure you want to leave that out and kind of stare at that cool product that you'll never see again once you're done installing it. Doing a little shifter test here to make sure everything works. Not sending my friend off with a busted car. Well, that's it. My first video back in a long time. In fact, first video back in a Challenger in an even longer time. I got a friend's car here. It was really nice to be able to work on a Challenger again. Also installed some Luxe kits while she was here, which is also pretty awesome. Haven't done that in a while either. So anyway, right here you're watching me do my TikTok video. If you're not following me on Instagram or TikTok, go check out WorkPlayDrive on both those platforms. A little bit more active on those because I can do video shorts that don't require a ton of editing. Getting back to Tailhappy's Garage. If you'd like to purchase this, I'll have a link and a discount code below. The discount code right now is WorkPlayDrive. And we are not affiliates, so we're not getting paid for any of your purchases, not getting paid for making this video. So from what I've seen so far, rock solid, 18 gauge steel. He addressed the security bit issue by providing that as a add-on item if you want. And overall, seems to be a good guy to work with. So if you guys got any experience with him, please drop them in the comments below. Let me know how you feel. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. It's good to be back.